right, welcome back to my patio.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me.
I wonder if in the United States, there's a lot of programs,
Yeah.
but people usually feel there's a stigma with with applying and trying to participate in these programs because of their, as you were mentioning, that their lack of hope, self-esteem, and so forth. And so maybe that's something that it's very much needed here. So tell us a little bit more about the things that the organization does.
Yes. Actually, um, before I go into that, I'm gonna tell you the reason why
Oh, yeah.
I created it.
Right.
The reason why I created it is because I know how it feels when you know when unexpected things happen to you, because all of us we started life expecting to reach our goals, but somewhere along the way something happens that we feel like we feel shocked. Something happens that we feel like we are at low place. So um I just want to let those people know that there is still hope, because when we see ourselves in those low places, sometimes we feel like there is no hope.
Yeah.
There is no hope. And but it just takes somebody to tell you that there is still hope for you, even though every single thing around you looks like there is no hope. Even though you might feel like you are in the darkest moments, and you cannot even sometimes you cannot even think that tomorrow will come. And that is something that many people need help for. You just need somebody to tell you it looks like this, but it's not gonna be like this. It's gonna change in the future. So that's why, because um like, in March, for example, when I started Beyond Conquerors, I went to this women's shelter to share my experience with them. So when I finished speaking, this lady, when I finished speaking, that time I was asking for those who wanted to ask to pray with them. Actually, I went with Joy from church, and so we prayed with people. But then this particular woman, she came to me and she said, I feel like I'm abandoned. I feel like I'm abandoned. Then I'm like, no, please don't feel like that. Then she started crying. She didn't tell me all of her stories, but those words, you know, they touched me deep in my heart. Imagine what can happen to somebody until that person comes to a point that she feels like she are abandoned. She just needed somebody to encourage her at that time, to tell her, no, you are not abandoned. Your God is still with you. You still have that potential in you. You have creativity in you. You can still get up. You can have confidence. You have it in you.
Right.
Even though you feel this way now, you have it in you. So that's what Beyond Conquerors is about. That's what we are about. And also in Africa, like those women who go to prostitution, some women, they are in abusive relationship because they cannot take care of themselves. They are fearful that if they leave that abusive relationship, who is gonna take care of them? You know, they don't think that they have what it takes, or they are waiting for somebody to provide them with the help they need, the skills that they need, so they can be able to get back up and then just after their dreams make their own money. You know, many women are in those situations. For example, last week I heard a story about this woman. She was in prostitution. She is in prostitution, and somebody asked her, if you have a choice, are you gonna do this? She said, no, I'm just doing this so I can be able to take care of myself. Imagine a woman like that. You offer her a job, you offer her a skill, and she will do it.
Right.
So that's what we do. And then, yeah, that's what we do. I'm glad that you asked me that question.
Yeah, yeah. I think that sometimes us in middle class America, we take for granted the sisterhood, right? Like we have no problem speaking about anything that troubles us, and then you know, encouraging one another. But when you're in a situation where you don't feel that you can be open,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't receive that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it is important to break through those barriers.
Yes, yes.
Tell us a little bit about why did you choose to found More Than Conquerors as a Bible-based organization?
Yes, I'm so glad that you asked that question. It's a Bible-based organization because myself, I went through so much in life. You read my story. We talk in church. After church, we just stay there, talk.
We have a whole other service like afterwards.
I know. So you know so much about my story. I went through so much, as you know. I was raised in a very dysfunctional family where my father had two wives, my stepmother and my mother, and then my stepmother and her children, they constantly insulted me, and so I was bullied at home. I was bullied at school, and you know, poverty. You know, poverty also. I was raised in poverty as well, and but when I was growing up, and after I received Christ, even though those difficulties were in my life, God gave me comfort. You know, I felt comfort through His Word. Even though things were going around me, you know, somehow I had this peace in me. I was married. You know about my marriage situation. It didn't work out, and then God again opened the door for me to legally come into the United States. I came into the United States. I found myself in a very you know, different situation, you know, and but the Lord kept me. I know that for sure. The Lord was the one who kept me because I was alone and I didn't have anybody to talk to. When I was feeling insecure, for example,
Right.
I did not know how to speak a word in English. I felt insecure. I didn't know. I couldn't talk to anybody.
Right.
But the Lord was there with me. And His word was what comforted me. You know, so I see myself in those women. You know, like I see what they are going through. You know, when you're going through some tough times, so sometimes you don't open up to people. And that's why I decided to create Beyond Conquerors and make a Bible-based organization, because if nobody is there for you, God is gonna be there for
Right.
you. When nobody is there for you, His word is there for you, and He is His word. And if He is with you, who can be against you? If he is with you, you have everything. But I know that we human beings, we want somebody human to talk
Yeah.
to us, to give us confirmation that okay, I can do this for you. I'm here with you. But I'm telling you that God being with me, that helps me a lot.
Of course, yeah, and I think that God puts the people in your life, the right people in your life, when you are relying on Him, when you are asking Him
Exactly.
um, for His assistance and presence, and when you're clinging to Him, He will place pieces in your life, sometimes through other people. I think that um, you just get an example. Another video we did some time ago, that when you were alone in a train platform and somehow you managed to ask the right people
Yes.
what you needed, and but you had started that whole moment with prayer.
Yeah, with prayer, exactly.
So when we start that relationship with God and we ask, He gives.
Yes, exactly. And so, because he was the one who helped me through all my difficulties, I just want to also share that with others,
Yeah.
because and reveal to them, tell them the secret of how why I'm still standing, the secret. Because if I want to help people, I need to tell them the secret. And the secret is the word of God. The secret is what I learned during those times. The word of God was what kept me standing, because without the word we cannot stand.
Yeah.
We cannot stand.
Yeah.
The Bible said in Matthew 7:24. I'm gonna read that quickly. Matthew 7:24. It says, "Therefore, everyone who heard these words of mine and put them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the wind blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall." So the word of God is what keeps us stand, even if we go through difficulties, we may fall, but we will not be destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I wanna share with other people.
Yeah.